A top aide to Vice President Kamala Harris is joining some other key staff in heading for the exit door. Symone Sanders, the vice president's chief spokesperson, is quitting at the end of the year. She joins Harris's communications director, who also announced her resignation 2 weeks ago. Key travel staff to the vice president also quit last summer. This comes as Harris's poll numbers have sunk to below 30%. As well as reports of tensions between Harris's office and also the West Wing. Democratic strategist and Rebel Communications founder Laura Fink joins us now. Laura, I guess the simple question is something going on here.
Well, you know that the position of the vice president is expected to be a happy warrior. And you can imagine that under the pandemic and with a trailblazer, first woman of color to hold that role, there is a lot of pressure on Vice President Kamala Harris. I think what you're seeing in terms of staff is a combination of things. One, Symone Sanders had been on the trail with Joe Biden, working in the White House, and then moving over to the vice president's office. That's 3 years in total. She did give the nod that she was going to be moving on, and she also didn't ascend into the role, higher role within the president's structure. She wasn't going to become the press secretary in the next little while. So all of these things sort of combine. But I think what you were asking is an interesting question, and that is, why is the office of the vice president, one, a subject of such focus, and two, why is it, why is the vice president seem to be struggling in the polls? Mm-hmm. And I think the answer to that is complicated. I think it's tough. I think a lot of women, it's much similar to with corporate CEOs. They often ascend to positions of power during times of crisis and during times of trouble. Now, that wasn't true of Kamala Harris, but it is true that the issues on her desk are all the most controversial in the Biden administration.
All right, here's a little bit about this situation that the vice president addressed herself today.
I love Symone, and I can't wait to see what she will do next. And I know that it's been it's been 3 years of a lot of jumping on and off planes and going around the country, and she works very hard, and I can't wait to see what she'll do next. And I mean that sincerely.
So the vice president is known for her tells, Laura, and I wonder, and I mean that sincerely at the end, that seemed a little strange to me. I mean, if she meant it, you would have just trusted what she said at first, but not added that. I guess my question is, are these folks, do you think, heading for the exits, or are they maybe being blamed for some of her low poll numbers?
Well, I don't think that it's that simple. I think that it tends to be complicated. I've worked on political staffs. I've hired people for political staffs, and it's always a real challenge to find that chemistry. She had it with Symone Sanders for quite some time, and sometimes it's really just about circumstances. But I think that bigger picture issue is, why is Kamala Harris unpopular? I think she's got a pretty Herculean challenge being a trailblazer in office and also taking on, we were just talking about the humanitarian crisis at the border. Kamala Harris has been tasked with that. She's been tasked with the voting rights legislation, which it was destined essentially to be blocked in the Senate. Also a tough road to carry, and recently was sent over to France to sort of patch over the tough diplomatic situation there. So it's hard to be the happy warrior when you have some of the toughest issues on your plate.
We hear, Laura, quickly, I want to get you on this. We're up against the clock, though, that there was, friction and tension between the vice president and the Oval Office. I'm wondering if you think she was the presumptive nominee for 24, I think, just sort of, we all thought. Is that still the case, do you think?
Well, I think President Biden has said that he is running again in 24, so I think you're talking about 28. I absolutely believe that.
Really?
And I think, do you don't?
I don't. No, he'd be, what would he be, 82, 83?
Well, Reagan, I believe, served at that age, and so I think that certainly, to any question, is really speculative at this point. But he said that he's running, and it seems that he will. So I think that's a little bit premature at this point.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. It is early, but it's fun to talk about.
It is.
Yeah, Laura Fink, Democratic strategist, founder of Rebel Communications. Great to have you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.